Well, hello everyone. It's Bronnie here again for another day in Bronnie's World, and we are to 998. Oh my goodness, where has that time gone? Well, this last week I have been bringing to you some really special guests that mean a great deal to me. And today I've brought you two gorgeous ladies. Now, let me tell you a little bit of history here. All three of us are mums and are grandmothers. So that's pretty cool, right? So that's pretty special. One of them has two kids and two grandkids. The other has four kids and four grandkids. And one has kind of five kids, four in a foster child, and six grandkids. So together we're all pretty full on busy ladies with our families. So this is another reason I want to bring these two gorgeous ladies together to talk with you today. And I have discovered through my time of getting to know these two beautiful ladies that their lives have intertwined through this industry together for, they will tell you how many years and how that came about, and all that sort of stuff, because I'll mess it up. I don't know the full story, but I want you to hear the full story and why I love working with these two ladies. They are both my mentors. They both have helped me in different ways. They both bring different aspects to this industry, to their training, their learning. And that's what I love about our community in longevity is everyone I have brought to you have taught me different things from different angles. And as I'm a learner who learns from all aspects, from because of my dyslexia, I have to use all my senses. I pick up something from all of them and marry it into how it best suits me. And that, guys, is what I love about these two ladies. They both teach me different things. And sometimes my little mind gets a little bit conflicted, but I'm able to marry together what both of them say and teach me to better build my business and to better build my relationships with you. So, with no further ado, I'm going to introduce you to, firstly, Louise Adrian from Canada. Now, she's not just Canadian. There's another trick. She's Canadian and English. And Dracy Dewar, who is down here in Australia, is not Australian per se, although she's been here a lot of years. She's from Canada originally. So that in itself, I'm Australian, born and bred, but I have a lot of British background. Anyway, so guys, we are a real culture mixture here today. So take it away, ladies. And I believe, Louise, you're going to go first. So let's hear a little of your story and what brought you to this industry. And I'll let you just lead from there.
Oh, okay. What led me to this industry was at the time I had little ones, and I was looking for later on in my career, I was looking for something sort of fun to do. When I first started in this industry, I didn't know I was joining a direct selling company. I just wanted access to their products. So I opened up an account. And in, my first month, I promoted to what they call, a manager in that company. And I had no idea what that meant. So I'd just been going on doing my own thing. And then head office called and said I was a manager. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. And they said, well, it's all in your manual. And I ran to the office and I had my original box and I opened it up. And in there, still in cellophane, was the manual. So I kind of fluked into this industry. I'm kind of like, an accidental entrepreneur, so to speak. And after that, that's when I got serious and started learning. And, the thing in this industry is, it's always changing. And some people have a struggle with that. But the thing is, it's ever changing. And so, when you look at that, the industry is changing, but the principles are the same. And so, you know, when you look at keeping the principles the same, it's really your technique that changes. And especially in the last couple of years, my technique in social media has really what has, you know, really grown my business. So, so yeah, I'm basically an accidental entrepreneur, and here I am 32 years later, still in this business, and still loving it.
Well, that's awesome, Louise. I wonder how many of my viewers have accidentally fallen into their careers, whether it be this industry or anything else. It'd be interesting to hear their feedback. So let's see how, Dracy, how did you come into this industry? Was it an accident for you as well?
Well, I guess it was kind of a process for sure. I was one of these ones. I was a mom with a 6-month-old baby, and I went to a Tupperware party, and I couldn't afford to buy one of the little kits for the little snack box for her, but I really wanted it. So the lady was prepared to split it up. But I guess that was a recruiting signal for her that I would make a really great recruit, because I definitely needed money. And I go, oh no, I'm too busy to do what you do. So she actually invited me to an event, like one of her unit meetings, and I said, oh, well, I don't have the car this day. So I was like, excuses. But she goes, oh, I'll pick you up. So how do you say no to that? And so she did pick me up. I actually went to her meeting and I saw the ladies and I thought, oh, this was lovely. And she used me as the example. She put a week at a glance on the chalkboard or whatever board that she had at the time. And she had it broken up into 3-part days. And she goes, well, Dracy, show us how busy you are. And as busy as I thought I was to actually go and write down those different blocks in there, in the end, I really was just busy doing nothing. So that's how she got me. So I said yes to, you know, I guess at that time you had to do 5 parties or presentations, and I did those 5. And I actually really loved it and enjoyed it. And I made $100 in my first evening. I go, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't have to put my daughter in daycare. She was 6:30 at night. And so the bug was planted. And that probably was a thing. But I didn't go to the training and I didn't do what I was told. So all my business petered out. So that's kind of what happened. So when I actually was like, okay, I'm ready to do something, I answered an ad that said, do you love whatever it was, the product? At that time, I think it said candles. And I said, I love candles. And it said, no experience, blah, blah, blah. And I go, well, I've heard all this before, 6-figure income. And so I actually answered that ad. I went to the interview and I actually said to her, if I have to spend any money, I'll quit. It was a free kit and you had to do a 2-week trial. And so I did the 2-week trial. I did really well. I made her show me a paycheck, and it was like something like $4,000 or $5,000 for the 1 week. And she was apologizing. It was a low check. And I thought, okay, all right. I said, well, I will do this as long as it's trending. And well, I think I was with that company 23 years later, and I had earned a 6-figure income my first full year business. I actually made more than she did. But this time, what I did differently is I did what I was told. And I went to all the training and I followed the systems, and now I'm over 30 years. And so part of that journey is now Louise and I come together with over 60 years experience. And
Crazy. Oh my gosh.
Which is great. And her and I connected like 23 years ago in that journey. And she was the only person as well that interviewed me and asked to see my paycheck. And I was super proud because I had made almost $250,000 that year. So, so she was the one who got, so Louise, you got to tell them how we met and how that all fell place.
Yeah. So
that was December, 5 years.
It was 23 years ago, this in December, right? Yeah. So I brought a speaker in from the US, and she was a party plan speaker, and I opened it up to all companies, not just the company I was with. And it was a huge event. There were like a couple of hundred people there, easy. And so I was on stage speaking, and I met Dracy, who
I made sure I was front row.
She was front row, and she was very pregnant, but she was very, very locked into what was happening on the stage. And I'm like that too. You know, if I'm going to take the time to go and hear somebody, I am 100% focused. It can intimidate some people because I've got my serious focus face on and taking notes and whatever. And Dracy was just like that too. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyways, I went up to her and, you know, chatted with her, found out the company she was with, and I took her catalog and I gave her my catalog. And then the next day I thought, you know what, let's see if I can do a trade of product. I sold children's toys at that time, and she had candles. And I phoned her and left a message. Her assistant called me back, who ended up being my assistant for 15 years. When Dracy moved to Australia, I scooped her right up. And
Hey, she's not an assistant.
still
We call her a PA because she was our personal angel.
She was and still is. I just spoke with her a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And so we traded these catalogs, and the next day was Sunday, and I was sitting home having a cup of tea, flicking through the catalog, and I'm just like, okay, I want at least a couple $100 of stuff here. She's got kids. I'm going to look at doing a trade. And when I called, that PA answered and said she was away, and I'm like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. But she did phone me back, and we did do a trade. And then after I got the product, because I got the product and it was just before Christmas, I couldn't stop smelling the product and thinking about this product. And so the first week back in January, I called her and said I'd like to meet with her. And her PA again said to me, oh, she's on maternity leave now. And I'm like, well, tell her I called, please. And then right away, Dracy called me back and I said I wanted to meet with her. She's like, well, I haven't had the baby, so come over. And I went over and I interviewed her, and her husband at that time was in the kitchen eavesdropping. And, I had my list. I've always been a list maker. My questions, my list, show me the money, show me the paychecks. Then I went to her upline and met with her face to face. She had come into Vancouver, and I asked for her paychecks as well. So that's really how it came to be. And then I joined in February. So that was early January, and then I joined in February. So that's how we met. And here we are 23 years later.
And so just to add to that, so the proof is in the paycheck.
Yes.
For one. But, I remember the whole time, is this experience for Louise, I already kind of knew. I just got to make sure she has a really great experience right from the day dot, getting the product, how it was delivered, my follow-up. And when she called, I called her not within 24 hours, I called probably within 24 minutes, just that level of care. But that's what was in my mindset the whole time, is making sure this woman has a great experience with me and the product. And then look at us 23 years later. And here's the irony now 23 years later, not only has she helped me, gave my reputation to Longevity, and they hired me down under to look after this field development, but I have a Longevity account, because how could I not? My family, my friends, and now Louise is actually technically my upline. And so we get to still dance and work together and have fun and watch our grandkids. And so this business about relationships, hand on heart, we get Christmas cards from each other. When I come to Canada, she's on my list of places to go for dinner, to have a sleepover. So that's kind of what I just absolutely love about her. I love about the business. And Bronwyn, coming to you, being a part of this, we absolutely love and adore you and all that you do. You're so open to learning everything that we teach and we train. And I know Louise's style is very direct and very bullet point and really hands-on, with such a fantastic open heart. And I just see how you dance and do her thing. And then on my part, mine is to guide and show you the patience, and to actually show you that you got this, girl, and you have been doing it all on your own. We just kind of here for you. So whatever you ask for is how can we serve you, Bronwyn? And it's been an absolute joy serving you.
Well, I just want to say one thing, with Dracy too, is we talk about this over and over and over again, and the fortune is in the follow-up. And so if Dracy wouldn't have followed up with the messages that I left, we wouldn't have had this connection. And so I just want to give some kudos to Bronwyn as well. She is coming up to a huge number of doing lives. And I have to say, if you don't regularly watch her lives, you are missing out, because it's that sprinkle of joy that you get every day. There's a lot of crazy in the world, for a better word. And so when you can tune into something just for a few minutes a day and take you out of the crazy, and so people who are happy for others simply because they are happy are really my kind of people. And that's Bronwyn, right? Bronwyn is happy. You can tell she's got immense joy. And so when you look at the joy and the happiness and the kindness, those three together really are what Bronwyn is: joy, happiness, and kindness. And
Absolutely.
so I definitely want to give you a congratulations, Bronwyn. You're coming up to a huge milestone number in a couple of days. It's going to be very exciting. I can't wait to tune in and watch that one. So I'm going to turn it back to you.
Am I read yet? So, so it is Mindset Monday here in Bronnie's World. So I know it's Sunday still for you, Louise. So if I could ask both of you for a mindset tip, and that I think you kind of already have, but that you would like to share with our viewers. You know, you sort of took me back a bit, Louise, with those kind words. And that, I guess, too, helps a person's mindset, hearing that people appreciate you. And you guys, I know it must frustrate you at times because I am a slow learner, but I'm still learning, okay? So don't think that the things you've taught me have gone out the window, passed me by. I have to process in a slower pace than most. But it's all about the mindset. Am I right? Girls, take it away.
You know what? You're absolutely correct. And, you know, I'm working on a training that I'm doing in a few weeks, and it's all about who you associate with. So if you are around negative people all the time, that rubs on, you know, you. And so what you want to think about is who you're surrounding yourself with makes a huge impact in your life. So if everybody's negative, you need to find some positivity. You need to find some people who are there to love you, appreciate you, and support you in your journey, not just your business journey, but your life journey. Because, you know, there's a lot of people that want to, you know, squash you down. And I know in Australia, Dracy taught me this when she first moved there, because she experienced it, called, and Australians know this terminology, the rest of the world probably doesn't, tall poppy syndrome. And that means as soon as someone starts to rise above what the rest of your culture or people are, all of a sudden they get uncomfortable and they try and squash you down again. So that's basically what tall poppy is in a nutshell. But so, you know, if that's happening to you, definitely reach out and find some like-minded people, some people that you can align with, associate with, and be mentored by, or at least watch and, you know, build a connection with them, because that really does make a difference.
Oh, it certainly has. And
Absolutely.
longevity has certainly done that for me in a big way. Dracy.
And like as Louise said, and this has been a philosophy of mine growing up, because I was grown up around maybe not the most positive environment. And so if I was going to succeed in this industry, my upline said to me, you spend minutes with negative people, hours with positive people. You can't select or choose who your family is, but you can definitely choose how much time you spend. And it's amazing when people know your philosophy and they see you only spend a few minutes with them, they actually start to get it. And I have watched and witnessed people I love actual mindsets and become more positive in their lives because of that philosophy that I actually have carried and mentored. And I always say the one thing that is amazing that we do have control over. See, we can't control the weather, we can't control the politics, we can't control the government, but what we can control is how we think about it. And so that's why I am such a big advocate for mindset. You'll see, you know, even on my Instagram, my brand pillars are about Project You. It's about mindset. I'm all about, you know, the lessons that we learn, and that is a huge, huge aspect. What we think about comes about. So control it, and we can, and that is by the pictures, by the dreams, by the goals that we create for ourselves visually, how we speak, how we show up every day. And so, Bronwyn, you do a great job with a positive mental mindset. We know the background, all the things, the challenges that you overcome on a daily basis, and you still show up with a big smile, and it shows, and you're making a difference, and we're so super proud of you.
Well, thank you, Dracy. You're right. It was one of the reasons I started this in the first place, when the whole world went into lockdown. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, people's mindsets, people's mental health is going to really suffer. And it all started, you might remember, with me just bouncing on my little trampoline in my tiny little office, which has not a lot of room, saying, yeah, you've got room. And Dracy put it out there. And I actually put it out there as just a fun thing that day. You know, that was so out of my comfort zone. And between Dracy and a couple of school friends that I didn't know were watching me, who said, inboxed me and said, so what are you doing tomorrow? That was great. I mean, okay. And that's it, all led from there. And I thought, if I can bring some joy to people's day and change their mindset, because there's so much, like you said, Louise said earlier, so much craziness out there, we've got to do something. And this has been what I have found with the Longevity family, is with people like yourself and the people I've already interviewed this past week, is they have kept my mindset going in the right direction, especially on the days when I just feel like giving up because of the negativity that's coming in from the world. And yet, oh Lord, please. And always one of you must sense that Bronnie needs some cheering up or something. Just one of you has come back, sent me a message, and had no idea I might have been struggling mentally that day with negative vibes going on. And that's what I love about this longevity community, you know, and why one of the reasons I love getting on a lot. Well, I love getting on the training because I learn. I pick up something from all of you, and that's super amazing. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming and sharing with my viewers today, Dracy and Louise. And I just was thinking about it, like I said, that we're all mothers, we're all grandmothers.
Well, we got a dozen grandkids between the three of us. We did quite well.
We
There you go.
did. Yeah.
A
We
cool
did have our
dozen.
own team. Just with our grandkids.
Well, Bronnie, thanks for. I certainly appreciate your time and attention, and not only showing up for everybody, but you step up and you certainly shine. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, guys, thank you very much for being my guests today. And
it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Bronwyn.
An absolute joy.
And so as we close out 998 days today here in Bronnie's World, I ask you all really nicely, my viewers, all very nicely, to stay safe, stay informed, be empowered, but do not live in fear. And when you have amazing ladies like this backing you up and keeping your mindset, and we do it for each other, so it's not just, you know, when they're having a down day, I try and lift their spirits too. You will be powerful, beautiful, brilliant, and most definitely very brave. God bless you all, and I'll catch you again tomorrow for another day in Bronnie's World, 999, and I have really special guests tomorrow as well, leading up to the major, super special guest on the 1000th day. So God bless you all, and I'll catch you again tomorrow.